Here. Welcome to the 1% Club. We're going to have an awesome day. Yes, I'm coming to you live from Nantucket. If you've never been to Nantucket, it is beautiful out here. All right, so let's do it. I got some cool stuff to share with you today. Let's start with the PowerPoint slideshow. So let's bring that up there, Rob, and we're going to share something with you that's pretty cool. This was just literally on the Inman news stage about 2 hours ago. And this is the Q1 2023. And if you look, you got Compass lost about $65 million in the first quarter, followed by Anywhere, which has 277,000 agents. Their valuation went down to just over 900 million. We have about 90,000 agents and we're valued at 3.7 billion. So it is amazing. Douglas Elliman, you'll see them doing pretty well, but they lost about $18 million in the first quarter. So interesting. And then you look at Fathom losing money, Real losing money, and then United made a little bit of money. They didn't lose any, they made a little bit. But I don't know about you, how do you like making a little bit of money? Do you pay your bills with a little bit of money? It's not fun. But then there's this one company you might notice that is making a lot of money, and that is EXP. Just when everybody's losing it, or just, literally there's only two companies making money, and one is a little bit, the other one's just booming, going the right direction. So this is a very good sign. We'll go to the next slide there, Rob. And then you look at this, and this is revenue paid to agents. And Douglas Elliman, 77%, Anywhere, 80%, Compass, 81%. EXP 91. So they're all running 91, 93, 95, 95, 96. So why is Realty One, Real, Fathom, and United a little bit higher? Because they're much smaller companies. That's why. And it's easy to get those higher numbers when you're much smaller. EXP is, 5 times the size of all those companies. So that comes into play. Let's hit the next slide there, Rob. And then you got, well, I think we just went over this slide. We had this someone in here twice, I believe. Yep. And so this one's interesting. So if you look at this is EBITDA per transaction. Douglas Elliman, that was doing well with us. They're leading the way for doing terrible. And then Compass is right behind them. $1,900 per transaction in the red. Anywhere getting hammered. Fathom getting hammered. Real's getting hammered. United's making a little bit of profit, and they're there. And there's EXP at 130 in the positive per transaction. That's really positive. Next one there. We only have 2 more slides. And then you got transaction count. Now, Compass came in and bought everybody, and they're under contracts. We get agents all the time. I can't leave. I owe Compass 100,000, $250,000, $500,000 if I leave. And so they're stuck there, and they kind of got front loaded their money. Then they have to pay it back over the 3, 4, 5 years they're there. So really they don't get anything. But they're like, when someone waves a $500,000 check in your face, you take it, but then they own you for 3 years with a 2-year clawback. So it's really a 5-year. And so Compass is hanging in there with their transaction count. They're doing well, but look who's number 2, EXP. We didn't buy anybody. And you think, well, EXP is buying people now? Nope, we're not buying brokerages. We're helping them with transition costs. When you spend $100,000 helping a brokerage trend, that's not buying a brokerage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 million is buying brokerages. We're helping them with some transition costs. That's all we're doing. So Compass bought their way in, and they're in big trouble. They're bleeding red so hard. But look at EXP right there, with agent count. And then we beat out Keller Williams. We beat out Realty One, Anywhere, Douglas Elliman, everybody just rocking. Next slide there, Rob. And this slide, honestly, I was trying to put some calls out. I don't understand this slide. So I just got my hands on these slides 30 minutes ago. So this is really fresh. And I don't quite understand this slide. But there's someone super analytical who kind of gets it. You can explain it to me, but I don't quite get it. So I'm just going to be honest. And unless you unmute yourself and say, I totally get this,
Brent,
Anybody
this is the reduction in number of transactions per agent. So in the first quarter, the number we all did fewer transactions, and this is per agent how many fewer transactions we did. So
Compass did a lot less, Anywhere did a lot less, United, KW did a lot less, Fathom, Realty One Real. So Douglas Elliman held let's give them props. Like I said, Douglas Elliman held their own as far as transactions. I guess they dropped the least, is what this is saying, followed by EXP. Is that your take? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I'm in a meeting.
We had a 7.5% reduction in the number of transactions per agent, where Compass had a 15% reduction in the number of transactions per agent.
Oh, that's Dylan. This voice sounds so familiar, but I couldn't see who was talking. I know the voice. Dylan, how are you?
I'm good. Awesome.
Thank you for saving me. I kept looking at this going, I don't get it. But that just proves you don't have to be the sharpest knife in the drawer. Thank you, Dylan.
Brent, the part that this is Pamela, the other part that's really interesting about this slide that made it kind of hard to understand is we're talking about fourth quarter 22 to just first quarter 23. That's just in a few months time of where they stand. How much fall off.
Yep. And everybody's seen it. Like everybody is. All of us are doing less, but who's doing the most less? And that is Compass, Anywhere, United, and KW. And then Fathom's right on the average of everybody. And then Realty One's doing a little better. Real's doing a little better. EXP's doing a little better. And Douglas Elliman is a very old school, traditional, heavy client base, and they're holding their oon. Okay, next slide. If we have one, I think we have one left. Nope. And this is the guy who did this. Mike Del Preet. He is speaking at EXPCon in Las Vegas. So the guy, he blew everyone's minds. I just grabbed a few slides that he had at Inman News in New York. He was on stage 2 hours ago, and you could have heard a pin drop in there. Gary Keller was in that audience. The CEO of Anywhere was in that. Douglas Elliman, Compass, all the CEOs go to Inman News New York. They were all there, and it was like, you could have heard a pin drop. It was like an EXP. He's not with our company. He's an independent thinker, scholar, tech strategist, kind of economic based. And he just looks at the numbers. He goes, here are the numbers. He's quoted by the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Finance Times, The Economist. Great guy. He will be. We did say, we like what you're doing. Why don't you come speak at EXPCon in Las Vegas? So he is going to be a keynote speaker for us in Las Vegas. Thank you, Rob. Yep, we can pull that back off. Randy Bird's in the house. Good job, Randy Bird. By the way, shout out to Randy Bird. Randy today covered a very high-level mastermind that the company puts on for what was it called? What's it called, Randy? The thing you did today?
It was the builders call. It was the builders group. Yeah.
Just so you guys know, I've seen the feedback on that, and people said it was the best builders call they can ever remember, and Randy lit the place on fire, and he is on fire. Thank you, Randy Bird. So, okay, we're going to switch gears and go very fast, so I need you to take some notes. Number one.
Anywhere that builders call or no?
You have to have a minimum of 200 people in your organization to get on there or something like that, Randy, something like that, isn't it?
I don't know exactly, but
All
yes.
right, that's a new goal. Let me know what it is.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
they have builders, and then there's three different groups they do: builders, something else, and then the alpha call, beta, maybe beta. Yeah, I don't know.
Builders, leaders, beta, and then alpha.
Builder, leader, beta, alpha. So as you hit different numbers, you get invited into master. 100 people in the group like you, 500 people in the group like you, 1,000 people in the group like that. I'm in one with people who have thousands, and it's pretty exciting. That's the alpha call. And then because we all have different things we're experiencing, and it's really cool. You want to get in those groups, but the company trusted Randy Bird to rock it, and he did. Okay, we're gonna go fast because I have a guest speaker coming in at 8 minutes. That means I have 8 minutes to wrap up, and the guest speaker is gonna basically put a case of TNT under your fanny and go. It's just gonna, if you want your fanny to explode, wait 8 minutes. It's gonna be good. You will not be disappointed. So number one, what creates success? Isn't that a fair question? What creates success in your sales and in your agent attraction? Here it is. Ready? Massive action. You need to work on your marriage, read books on marriage, go to counseling, get around good people who are for your marriage, put in massive action, health, sales, agent attraction, a simple, proven, repeatable process, a simple, proven, repeatable process, a simple, proven, repeatable process. Press play, press play, press play. Well, how do I do that? That's the part you got to figure out. You got to figure out how to get in front of agents. You got to want it bad enough. I figured it out. You got to figure it out. You can meet with them and teach them about funnels. You can meet with them and teach them about AI. You can meet with them and teach them about luxury marketing. You can meet with them. Well, I don't know any of that. Well, doesn't it make sense that you want to learn some of that? Go to some ClickFunnels classes. I'm a coach. I'm a life coach. Go with them and do life coaching. Help them with their kids. Trust me, everybody's burdened with their kids. Help them. Well, I'm not good at that. Okay, I'm great at health. Look at Dylan Nanake. He looks like a linebacker still. You coach them on their health. Everyone write this down. Well, it's later, but I'll let it fly out. Sales manager at Remax. Become more valuable than their team leader at Keller Williams. Become more valuable than their broker at Century 21. Are you with me? Help them. And if they look at you and said, I'm never coming to EXP, doesn't matter, because they're human souls, and you continue to help them. And when you're convinced that they'll never come to EXP, help them anyway. Because if you're just helping people because you give, well, they don't always give back. It's okay. Givers give. They don't have to give back. You're a giver. I heard this way: you're either a life enhancer or a well poisoner. Rich DeVos said that a long time ago. Are you a life enhancer? Do you enhance the lives of people around you? Or are you a well poisoner? You leave and that well has been polluted. Do you zip the lip when you have some gossip? When you have something you could share about somebody that maybe isn't their best idea? Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe what so-and-so did. I mean, do you zip the lip? Do you what is it that you do when you enter the room? Do you lift it? So that's number one. Massive action. You can change. Number two, somebody's mic is on. Denise, I think your mic is hot. You got a few mics hot here, Rob. We may have to hunt them down. Okay, good. Number two, don't overthink it. What do you mean? Like, well, should I listen to me? What does Gene Frederick say? Gene Frederick says you're looking for people whose gates are open. Everybody's like, well, I talked to 10 people and I didn't get anybody, right? Okay, I know other people talked to 10 and got 5. I typically showed somebody every day. Could you talk to somebody tomorrow and press play? You could. Will you? I don't know. Could you go on a listing appointment tomorrow? Yep. Could you go on a listing appointment the next day? Yep. Could you go? You could, but will you go on a? Well, I don't know. No one's called me to list their home. Okay, so you have a lead generation problem with listings. To call you. Doesn't it, if that's your goal, doesn't it think that you would go to every event you could go to? You'd grab anyone who was a big time listing agent and beg them to go to coffee with you, lunch, breakfast, and interrogate them for an hour at breakfast, at lunch, at coffee, and go on a quest for knowledge to find out what is your number one way to get sellers to call you. Like, what is it you do? Thing. There is proven repeatable processes you can copy. I copied Craig Proctor and Jay Kinder. And Jay Kinder was the number one Coldwell Banker agent in the world, and Craig Proctor was the number one Remax agent in the world. This is not science. I am a C student. I'm scrappy. I'm just hungry, man. I want to go, and I've got energy to burn. And you go, well, I'm not very much. Well, dial it up. It's like, I don't feel like cleaning my room. I don't feel like cleaning the house. I don't feel like, who cares how you feel? You act like a teenage boy. Teenage girl, suck it up, get on the suck it up bus. So number two, don't overthink it. You're looking for people whose gates are open. I showed it to 30 people a month, 1 a day, 30 a month, and 5 signed up. You're thinking I'm doing something wrong. You're doing nothing wrong. Instead of dragging someone over the sales line like a timeshare and you signed up 5 and they're not doing anything because you talked them into EXP, I found the ones who I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. I had EXP insomnia. I'm so excited. Those are the people I signed up. I signed up 25 of those in my first 5 months. 25 said no. I was just worried about the ones who said yes. I still love the ones who said no. Hey, if you write an offer on EXP listing, call me. I bet you I know Andre LaFountain. I bet you I know Pam Teresi. I bet you I know Kim Frazier. I bet you I know Shay Spitz, and I'm going to call him and I'm going to get your offer accepted. But Brent, I'm never coming to XP. Dude, you don't ever have to come to XP. I love you. You got kids. Let me help you. They're like, really? Text me when you're writing an offer on EX. I'm going to be pissed. I'm like, I get a little bossy with them, right? And they're like, okay. And guess what? I helped people get deals. I'd be like, Liz Brown, Dylan Nanaka, Jeffrey DeJesus, Susan, Carolyn Chasen. Do you know how many offers you got? I got 5. Do you know any of the agents? I don't know any of the agents. So I'm telling you, Tahoe Tony's a personal friend of mine. He is the salt of the earth. If you are so lucky to get an escrow with him, you will thank me. Vincent Koo from New York. I love this guy. I give you my word. If you can put a deal with Vincent Koo, you're going to have the smoothest transaction. You're going to love this guy. And guess what? He's a big time listing agent. He'll give you love back. So would you just let Vincent Koo, that Brent Gove said, I have to give you extra love, and just coach him on what he has to do to get his offer accepted. Like, I'm just telling you, you can get in bed with somebody you don't know and hope it works out. And that sounds terrible, get in bed with somebody you don't know. But you know what I mean? Get into escrow with somebody you don't know and hope it works out. Or you can help Vincent get this. I guarantee you're going to have do you want a smooth transaction or that nightmare transaction? What is it? And I fight for my people and I get them in. And honestly, if they never come to EXP, I'm good with it. I don't think everybody's supposed to be here. I think God has some people at some places because he wants to do something great at Century 21 or Remax or whatever. There's nothing wrong. They're all built by people. We want to love everybody and raise everybody up, not tear people down. You with me? Okay, so I got like a minute left and I'm going long. Preach to the living, don't try to raise the dead. Jesus got Lazarus out of a tomb, not you. And it can be done. I've heard of it, but preach to find the ones who want to do it. Number 3, the who. What is the who? What does Rob Flick say? People with good energy, people you like. When you talk to grumpy sour pants agent, doesn't go well. He's always and then you turn around and he's being like that. What's that? Don't even waste your time. Call people with good energy that you like. Number 4, subversive, meet my partner. And every 24 to 48 hours, put them in front of somebody different. There are people here that are my group, and put people in front of me. Good for you. So what am I telling you? There are people here that are in my group. You put people in front of people. You could put people in front of Elena Cardone. You could put people in front of Vincent Koo. You could put people in front of Jay Kinder or in front of Curtis Johnson or in front of Cliff Friedman, but you don't try. Well, my sponsor's not active. And my other sponsor, they're not that much. And I don't want to bother Albie Stasic. I don't want to bother. And that's just crazy. That's you getting in the way of you. So they're your partners. That's how they're not upline, they're not downline, they're not my sponsor. Hey, you got to meet my partner. They've changed my life. They can change yours. Do you have 5 to 10 minutes later today or tomorrow? A sense of urgency. Write this down. Time decay kills the sponsoring process. Clark Broom taught me that 40 years ago. Time decay. You'll hear me use the word sponsor here. It's fine. We're not trying to sponsor anyone here. Time decay. I'll call you next week. If you're the guy or the gal who says, I'll call you next week, this is not the company for you. You will not make it. You got to have hunger to it's like, and you're like a duck cruising around the pond, but underneath the feet are going. Then don't let them see you sweat. Don't let them see, hey, yeah. I'm just telling you, 5 to 10 minutes. I'm booked. I'm showing, okay, tomorrow morning I'm booked. I go, nobody's booked all day tomorrow. Come on. You got 5 minutes for me. You got to meet Carolyn Chasen. She's amazing. You got to meet Denise Abriel. She's incredible. They're going to change your life. You have no idea what they will help you. So, okay, I got 5 minutes. Somebody's going to help me. I'm curious now. But if you're not getting people to meet with your partners, it's because you are not turning up. Always Zoom. If you can, not a 3-way call. And it is Gail here. Gail, are you here? I don't know if you're here.
Yes, I'm here. Yes,
you're here. You're here. Okay, I'm going to get you in 1 minute. 1 minute, Gail. Stand by for blast off. But number 5, get people on a Zoom, and never get on a Zoom or a call without the predetermined outcome in mind. Like, my goal is to get them to the business planning clinic. My goal is to get them in front of so-and-so for lunch next week.
Oh. You can.
With the right people, you certainly take them to Ruth Chris or Eddie V's or Fleming's. So again, what's number 5? Never get on a Zoom or a 3-way call or meet people at lunch or for coffee without, like, what's the next? Like, don't go, okay, well, I'll call you. No, you have a goal in mind. I want you to meet the vice president of EXP, Sean Murphy, Russ Caffolio, Amy Weaver. Have a like, what is my goal for this coffee, this lunch, this Zoom, this three-way call? Like, what's the game plan? You don't go there going, that's not how we roll. And then number 6, get people to small events, to the springboard to the big events. Write that down. Get people to the small events. It's a springboard to the big events. And just for the sake of time, I'm going to not do the rest of mine because I have someone who's far more amazing, Gail DeMarco. She's a success coach, and she recently had an epiphany, and she is a woman on fire. She's kicking everybody's butt on the Zoom screen. I know for a fact, everybody, including mine, right? So I want her to share with you what her epiphany was, what she's doing. Gail, I'm 3 minutes late. Take it away. My bad. You can have 10 minutes. Go for it.
Wow. Okay. First, oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. I had an epiphany, and it all started with Matt Stewart. So, and I will tell you, with seeing some of these people, hey, Tahoe Tony and Pam, something incredible happened. I moved about 4 months ago to St. Augustine, Florida. And, as I do, I start prospecting, and I'm, doing the grind, and I'm calling, I get my 4 new listings, and it was EXP shareholders. Next thing I know, I'm at an open house, right around the block for me, having a great day, and Matt Stewart walks in. And so here's how it works. God will always speak to you at the right time with the right people for the right reason. You just have to shut up and let go of your ego and let it happen. So he walked in, and with Lexi, I'm like, oh, hey, great, and I was like, what are you doing here? How did you know where I live? What the fuck? And he looked at me and he goes, how long are you gonna keep doing this, Gail? And I was like, I was thinking to myself, you asshole. I go, what? What do you mean? I just got this great listing. You're in my territory telling me how long? But I love Matthew, right? And I love Lexi, and I know they had my best interest. So it just kind of like, that was like the first pierce. And then I just kind of, thought, well, I'm building another TDF over here. And so Randy Berg's been my coach for 2.5 years, right? And now I'm looking at Andre LaFontaine. So certain people God keeps bringing people to me. And the first time Brent took me to an event, it was in Scottsdale, and I was trying to get the hell out of there. And I didn't even know I was sitting next to Randy Berg. And Andre was on the stage talking, and he loves Jesus. I love Jesus. He loved Jesus a little more than I did at the time. But right now I was just like, okay, I'm listening. And, here's a guy that doesn't even really sell real estate. And, he's from 2 years ago, he's at 1,000 agents. So Randy, I'm a rock star coach with Rich Tomasini and Elizabeth Riley and Mike Sherrard and Kurt Evink and Kurt Chewell, and I don't know, a bunch of people I never knew. They just asked me to coach for them. And Randy was going to come in and be one of the coaches. And he called me up the night before, and he goes, you know what? I don't know. It's just not feeling right, DeMarco. I want to do this because of you. I go, man, it takes a lot of time. He goes, my heart is in attracting. That's what my heart. He goes, because this is the best blessing. So many people don't know that we have 3 lanes of revenue at EXP, and they're all in lane 1, production. They're in lane 2 by default with the share. In lane 3, they never get into. How am I number 302 out of 88,000 agents when I don't even really try to attract unless it's through production? So we are not. So basically, Randy said, he goes, I have an epiphany. I'm going to get Andre LaFountain. Sorry, I butcher your name all the time. I'm just going to call you Baby. Okay, how about that? So I'm going to get Baby, and I'm going to get, and Pete Middleton, right? And Pete Middleton reached out to me. What are you doing? I want to do it with you. And it's like the synergy. And Matt Stewart, oh my God, I'm learning so much from Matt Stewart. It's like incredible. Like I got 2 small brokerages that I'm meeting with, one tomorrow, and one it's going to, I already told Brent who the other one is, but so what happened is he said, I want you to be a coach. And I'm like, I always think to Gone with the Wind, my favorite movie. I'm like, I don't know nothing about having no babies. I have no idea how to do this. I don't know what to say. I don't know everything. So I get this phone call from Randy. He goes, I'm sick. I ate a bad oyster. I could die. I've been in the hospital 3 days. I want you to lead the group. I'm like, what? No. And luckily I was on my way to the airport for my daughter's, wedding, right? And so Matt led it, but the next day Matt just put me on the spot because you're going to lead it, DeMarco. I'm like, what? I seriously, like the Holy Spirit came on me and I was like, what am I going to do? I just be yourself. Just be yourself. Okay. Why did I invite people to church and sit next to me at church? Because I believed in it. I knew it was going to change their lives. I've been with EXP 2 months. I mean, two years. And my revenue share check for not trying was $14,000 last month, right? And so I do have the testimony. And really what people relate to is your testimony. So all I did was start calling people that I know, checking in. And guess what? It was so much easier than calling expires or FSBOs. People were happy to hear from me. And I got yeses. Guess how many yeses I got? In 8 days as of today. And I had to fly. I had to buy a ticket to come to Sacramento because I had 13 appointments this week. 13 face-to-face appointments. So I had to get on, tell my husband, take my mom to the 3 doctor appointments. I'm going to Sacramento. And now I may be here for 3 weeks because I got another 2 today. And I'm calling top producers. I just called an $80 million producer and she talked to me for 40 minutes. You were on the phone this morning, right, Pam? She was going on and on and on about Trump but this is what it is. People are open. And I did have, if I'm learning so much, some people have objection handlers. And we learned something killer today, right? Andre, it was like, hey, you know what? This would be financial malpractice if I didn't share this with you. Let me be your plan B. So it's really energy creates energy. That's the bottom line. Change your energy, change your life. Period, ended. And I am so excited to wake up in the morning now because guess what? In 3 years, I'm going to be a fucking millionaire. Okay. I'm going to be getting one of those Delta seats like Brent. I'm going to lay back and I'm going to go, where am I going? I'm excited about it. And I'm just having conversations with people that know me and are warm, but I look at people that respect me, but at the end of the day, I'm going to run out of those people. But while I'm doing that, I'm learning from people like Jeff Sutherland and Andre, how to talk to strangers and just be natural and be engaging. It's a phenomenal time to do that. So I really want to encourage all of you to change your energy, change your life, and change your mindset. Randy Bird is doing a phenomenal job. We're doing it. It's called Attract Boss. We prospect together every day, and nobody gets on my calendar from 8 to 10. That's it. And Matt will tell you, I've shown up every day for 2 weeks. I am not going anywhere else. This is going to change my life. Not going door knocking, not calling it expired, not calling anything else. So I am ready. I am ready to light it up. Woo!
Okay, I was muted. I was talking and I'm like, oh my gosh. So did I share my screen?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Good.
Yeah, you're
So
there.
let's see if I can figure out how to get on the internet. So I'm going to do this for you guys real quick because we're wrapping it up. Gail, thank you. That was absolutely phenomenal. And let's do this. I'm going to go somewhere. It's called attractboss.com. I don't make a penny if you go here.
I don't make a penny either. We're doing this for free, guys. We're doing this for
Yep.
free. Me and Matt make no money.
Attract Boss coaching community, meet your coaches. So everyone I know that's doing this is absolutely on fire and loving it. So there's Gail DeMarco, Andre LaFountain, is how you say it, Gail, Matthew Stewart, Dan Hilsman, and Jeff Sutherland, amazing superstars, all with big groups, all with proven success. So come here, read about what your membership includes. Again, this is attractboss.com. Best $197 you'll spend a month. Absolutely phenomenal. They got a whatever that is. They got that. Read about that. Then, all kinds of Q&A about it. And all I could tell you is I'm hearing rave reviews from this particular Goss group headed up by Randy Bird. So just want to encourage all of you to go there and I think it's going to help you go to the next level. So that is it for today. Thank you for coming to the 1% Club. Every week it just chips away. If someone wants to ask a question real quick, you could do that. I'm going to do my Mastering Sales with Brent Gove in about 7 minutes here. Anybody have a question you want to ask as we wrap this up today? I'm looking going. Jay Friedman was behind you there, Gail. That was cool. I saw him standing there. There he is. He's back. The one and only Jay Friedman. What's up, Jay? Good to see you, buddy.
We're going an appointment for him right now. So this was the best part. So he's watching us live prospect and he's texting me, that guy, I know that guy. And I'm like, well, I got to him first, sucker. So like, you've never leaving. I'm like, oh, we'll see. Either were you. So
Yeah.
anyway, we got to go meet him right now. Love
All
you
right.
guys.
Thank you, Gail.
Yeah,
You're awesome.
so appreciate it.
Tony, thank you, Gail. Tahoe Tony, quick question, and we'll wrap it up with you.
Where'd you get that really cool shirt you're wearing?
I bought this in Puerto Rico. It's ahi tuna, baby. Right
I love
there.
it. Makes my
an
mouth
island.
water.
I know. All right. Love you guys.
Hey,
Have a
Brent,
great day.
Brent, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, great. So when circling back to, let's say people we talked about, we talked to EXP about like a year ago, and now I'm calling them back a year ago, they weren't interested. How are you typically making that call? What's the script like?
Well, I never really called them back to talk to them about EXP. I would call them back and go, hey, we got a business planning clinic coming up. It's going to be amazing. I want you to come and I want you to kill it. And I want you to go back to Remax and kill it. I want you to go back to Sotheby's and kill it. And they're like, really? I could come? I go, yeah, I'm not coming. I go, totally fine, man. This is about your kids, man. What's it about? It's about your kids. And so sometimes they get snarky, like, come on, you want me to leave Keller Williams and come to EXP? I go, listen to me. Michael Dougal, listen to me. You were not allowed to come to EXP. Would you just get over yourself? Now get down here and learn how to go get 40 listings. And so your ability to promote is how you grow in this business. And so that is what I would do. I would not talk to them about EXP. And then they will say, hey, how's EXP going? Blowing my mind. It's going great. But so how are you doing? And then stop talking. This is not your exit to go EXP, because they're like, they are just being polite here, right? They really,
Brent,
when they go,
like,
how's your, go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting. Like when people often ask, Michael, how big is your organization now? Like, Brent, how are you answering that, and how do you turn that into get them closer to joining?
You broke up totally. I did not hear the question.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
I can. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Brent, if people ask you how big is your group size now, what do you typically say?
Well, there's a lot of ways you can answer that. It just depends upon, it's like, I know the question, what he's getting at is like, well, how many homes have you sold? Well, my office, we've sold 700 homes this year. You know, my team's done over 120 sales this year. You got to learn to talk like that. And if you haven't had the success and you're new, that question. But I don't think you're going to get it as much as you think, right? If you're doing massive action, you'll get it 1 out of 10 times. You know, it's not going to be ever, well, how big's your group now? How big's your group now? That's in your head. It does happen, but it's small. And it doesn't even matter if your goal is to get them to the business planning clinic, to how to become a superstar listing agent. What's that got to do with anything? It's huge. It's going nuts. I just picked up 7 agents in Idaho and 2, and then you might have 22 agents. But so you got to learn how to answer those questions in a way that sounds good, and then switch the question. He or she that is asking the questions is in control of what's going on. I go, man, I got dozens now. It's exciting, right? I go, so how's your team going? Last I heard you had 4. You had 4 on your team. Are you still there? Where are you at? Well, I dropped to 3. Oh, how's that going? You know, start asking them questions, baby. Don't let them pepper you with questions. And then
exactly.
become more valuable as a sales manager. Hey, I've got a break because we're starting in 4 minutes the mastering sales with Brent Gove. So we got a break here. Great questions, Michael, and we'll see you in 4 minutes. Bye for now.